Okay. Let me roll us around to 6 a.m. on the 26th of. Okay. So, quick recap. Last session was a bunch of talking. There was some nifty. Yeah, that's it. Name name drop. Halflus. Okay. So so yeah, it was a lot of talking. The important points was that everyone got ready for the feast and then went to the feast that was hosted by Umber. This feast, besides you guys and Umber, was attended by a large group of about 50-ish people, the most of which were more of the like flesh warps that call the city of Akkad home. And these people were all associated with running the city. So essentially these were government officials as far as that's sort of concerned. Umber is the dominant one. That's why this is Umber's dominance. She like if you asked, like she doesn't use a title like queen or anything like that because she doesn't respect kings and queens. Like she like that would be a step down for her as far as her perspective.
Fair enough.
But she's the dominant one, so that's why this is her dominance. But she is a single person, great as she is, and even with like mind magics that she has, she has an effective range, and so she can't run a whole fucking city by herself. It was even pointed out by a couple of other characters, primarily Oda, that like it's honestly weird and unusual that Umber is running a city because it's not a thing that like Lamia seemed keen on doing. It's very unusual behavior as far as just from the Lamia angle of things, and that has been repeated multiple times by like Akevi, who is one of the other who is also a Lamia. They were originally human, but they were cursed. They did something which pissed off a god or multiple gods, unknown, and they were transformed into a Lamia. And they do honestly have a lot of trouble when Umber's not around with controlling themselves. There's something about Umber, however. Umber essentially counts as like a Lamia matriarch that allows her to kind of suppress the curse when it comes to how the curse affects the other Lamia's behavior. It just makes them all raging bastards. And the thing is that Akivi literally suffers from it because that's not the kind of person Akivi is at their core. The curse is like affecting them that way, and they're honestly they're not coping with it. But the other natural born Lamia, they live with it, so they don't even like notice it. But it does make them all like terrible people, really, when you get down to it. And so Umber's got some ideas on like possibly fix that. They're not exactly, great ideas, and she hasn't exactly had the opportunity to test them very well. But she's got some ideas. But either way, though,
no willing volunteers.
Part of that though, like the thing that she does have practice with, although she self-admittedly needs more of, is she is trying to be a ruler, and she is trying to have, she is trying to pay attention to and listen to the advice of others, which these other people who were at the feast or said others. These are people who have experience and knowledge on infrastructure, construction, farming, all of those sort of things that help a community actually function. So urban these are the people planning that she has surrounded herself. Yeah, urban planning. Like you got to know somebody who knows how to like measure a gradient so that like you can set up drainage and things like that, and which you're definitely going to need in a for. So,
I'm reminded of that like middle management orc from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, these guys are effectively middle management. They are mostly, like city officials who do very important work that simply does not have the experience nor the time to focus on. But essentially, whenever something needs to be done, whenever something needs to be done, they bring that to Umber and explain to her what's up, and then she'll be like, okay, do we have enough funding? Do we have enough supplies? Do we have the manpower? Yada yada yada. She's the one who puts all the little pieces together, but they're the ones who let her know about it. But like I said, it was mostly flesh warps, but there was also mixed in some regular looking humans who weren't flesh warps. These were almost universally kitsune, although again, like I said, the kitsune, they look like people. The only reason for a fact that they were kitsune is because for a brief moment during the espionage portion of the feast,
if you could
Callie slurped down a potion that revealed true forms, and all of the regular human guys who were walking around, they were all suddenly like foxes wearing suits and slurping out of their cups and everything. But yeah, anyways, there was a couple of kitsunes, like a handful of them, and then there was also a couple of actual real humans who were part of a delegation from a community that lives up in the mountains that Umber helped out some years ago. There was some kind of sickness. Basically, they had an outbreak of tuberculosis. And Umber knew of medicinal stuff that grew in her region here that could help with that. So she just basically opened up trade with those guys of yeah, sure, I'll trade you the medicine. What they traded for has never been determined. It's never been said, but she opened up trade with them. She helped them not die from outbreak of tuberculosis. And as recompense for that or whatever, they had some of their people move into Umber's dominance and essentially work for her. Although, again, it hasn't exactly been stated what they do, really. She was just, yeah, these are people who, are here because of this alliance thing, and they help me out. Exactly how? no one has asked, and no one has said. But one of them, it turned out, was not actually a human. It was actually a serpent folk guy in disguise, and he was checking out the party and trying to get a read on what everyone's sort of weapons and armor, spell effects, that sort of stuff. He was just gaining information. And eventually it was noticed that he was doing this, and he got confronted about it. And Torque decided to make a distraction for everybody. So when the music started, she took the dancer's pole and basically started doing her dancing routine to gather everybody's attention in the room, which she, flat out did, except for the party and the espionage guy. There was some back and forth words with the party. Eventually, one of y'all was just oh yeah, these guys get really pissed off when you insult their god. So you mispronounce the god's name. At which point he sipped last of his coffee, really, really angry, smashed his mug, and then stalked the fuck out of the room. And he had a couple of guys chase him down, you've got your coat. And it turned out that those guys were actually also snake people in disguise. So there were 3 snake people who were there. One of them very clearly was checking you out. What the other 2 were doing, who knows? But either way, they left. So after they had taken off, the party had a delicious dinner. Everyone had drank just a bit too much. Some of you drank too much. Everyone retired for the evening. And the very last thing that happened was that Rusi was on his 7th mimosa or something. As the party returned back to their chambers, and he started to get a little sick and vomity and whatnot. And Larry was bring some ginger ale here.
I need to check in on my brother, man.
But yeah, like Torque was just like, yeah, he's going to need something more than that. So she was going to. So she was going to cast the.
Didn't we make a joke that he got grabbed and then dragged into the
He
darkness?
got dragged into the darkness by Torque.
Well, he collapsed. He after he vomited, he collapsed on the floor, like at the in the main room, like he collapsed, and like Torque helped him back to his feet and was just like, "Let's get you to lay down, buddy, and then I'll cast it." And that was pretty much where we ended. But yeah, the joke was that like, you know, like he falls down and then like Torque just comes out of just grabs him by the ankles and drags his brain.
No, that was Rosie.
But well, that's happened to Rosie. Either way, though, everybody retired for the evening. Callie did decide that she was going to like bunk with Ariel for the evening. Ariel was like, just FYI, I sleep naked. You know, not being weird about it, just simply that's how she prefers to do. That's her routine. And so like, you know, they got into the big ass pool for, you know, Azarketti that's in her room. And you know, like everybody was out cold pretty freaking early. So
Oh shit, do we need to do checks to see if anybody's slumping in the night? Dr. Tremors, you stay watch out hold on. You stay watch outside.
You know what? That would actually be a good idea. Let me roll me a perception check for Dr. Tremors. And question, Mr. Servos, is he still attached to the angler, or do you have him there at the compound?
I think by now he's at the compound.
Okay, so he's there. So both of them can make perception checks, and I will also go ahead and make one for Tim, since that's what Tim do.
Oh yeah, he only needs like 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, so let me open up.
Oh, you failed me, bro. Absolutely.
Who let Dr. Tremors into the alcohol?
I feel like he's just getting contact drunk because he's connected to fucking Callie. Okay, that's better.
All right.
At least one of my guys ain't fucking. One of my guys ain't drunk.
Beep boop.
Beep boop robot. I had a funny thought like a couple of days ago. I was like, imagine if fucking like either Dr. Tremors or like Mr. Service started getting jealous that Callie was spending more time with fucking like Ariel or some shit.
And then, just so that we're covering all our bases,
they get angry like a betrayed pet or something like that.
Okay. Dr. Tremors, in the like, as it gets like late into the evening at some point, like Callie is very briefly like, you know, roused from her sleep, and when she looks over, she sees that Dr. Tremors and Ariel's pet, the little like cuddle fish thing that she has called Lurk, that's in its own little like jar of water, essentially, that can roll around because it's like a hamster ball, are like chasing each other around the room. They're having like 3 a.m. zoomies, but they're otherwise, yeah, they're having 3 a.m. zoomies, and but otherwise though, like fucking nothing's going on. But yeah, the Dr. Tremors and Lurk kind of chase each other around the room for they chase each other around the room for a little, after, you know, like a bit, like Callie feels Dr. Tremors like settle down and curl up, you know, on her in the water.
Yeah.
But
Callie's like in the middle of the water because I imagine fucking Ariel's like attached herself to her.
Yeah, like Ariel is like just is just
That's
driftwood
right.
essentially. Like she is down. She's got a couple of tentacles gently wrapped around like Callie's ankles, so that they're like floating, next to each other. Not that they've got like all that much room to drift apart.
I've made that joke before, but I like to imagine that they're just floating perfectly in the center because, like, I imagine since fucking Ariel's deep water as a caddy, she fucking sinks in water, and Callie's shallow water as a caddy, so she floats on the top, so they're just in the middle because, like, they fucking cancel each other out or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So, like, Callie's doing her normal sort of like dead man float near the top of the water. And Dr. Tremors is just like curled up like a cat on like the small of her back, near that. Wherever Lurk is in the room, who the f knows? But yeah, that Callie eventually feels, Dr. Tremors settle down and curl up and go to sleep. But in the morning, relatively early on, when people start like waking up and just getting a feel of everything, it is very quiet in the early morning here in the the big ass like bunker building that has been turned into lodging for you guys, which, to reiterate, the lodging that you guys have has basically one central room that all of the other rooms radiate off of. Then at one end there's the entrance. At the far end is where you have a couple of like storerooms, a large room that's currently undefined. It could be turned into a bedroom. It could be turned into like a workshop or something like that, if need be. There's also a like bathroom that has like tubs and showers and all that. They've got they've got hot and cold water. All that sort of stuff. Everyone has gas lighting so that there's bright lighting everywhere you go in here. Otherwise there are no windows. You're surrounded by stone. So it's real fucking quiet when you guys like wake up in the morning. You don't hear anything going on with the town outside. It is that solid. Not to mention, of course, it's the walls around the entire like thing before you even get to the town. So the town's probably waking up and things are probably normal. But where you guys, it's as solid as a fucking like tomb when y'all wake up. So like Callie, when she wakes up, she notices that like Ariel is floating like like an inch and a half away from her, and has like a couple of tentacles wrapped around like Callie's ankles, just like gently, but she's just kind of like snoring, and gently like it has a gentle like strobe glow going on from her bioluminescence. But like that's going on for her. Laria is like waking up in like her pot of dirt.
in her pot, yeah.
In her pot of dirt, and it is like just rousing her self. Seamus is like downloading the newest patch notes for Conrasu into his like orb and whatnot. Everybody's just sort of like pulling themselves together. The only person that isn't here is Rosie, because Rosie spent the night rather notably
getting her organs rearranged. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you play like
I mean, it's not exactly incorrect.
And am I wrong though?
But yeah, Rosie is currently like if we're looking at here at the map, like where Callie is standing, that little side place right there, that's where the bunker is at. And then just to make note, we'll just drag Rosie onto the board here, and then Rosie is like over on in this little like side period, so she's only like a slight distance away from you guys. But yeah, Rosie also waking up with Umber Umber is a not a early rise and shiner. Let's put it that way. She is like when Rosie is like waking up and untangling herself. Umber is like a lump. She is just practically dead weight, and you know, like as you're like getting up, there's that whole like, you know the fantasy adventurer trope thing where like you're especially as a rogue, where you're like getting there into the treasure chamber or the hoard for the hoard for the like the dragon, and the dragon's there asleep, and then like slowly the eye like opens up and like focuses on you. It's that exact same thing.
Jesus.
Where she is just laying there like on her front, like dead to the fucking world, and as you're like getting up and like untangling yourself, one of her big ass eyes finally starts to like crack open and slowly rotates to like look in your direction, and she gives you a very muffled sort of like you know, as a form of like good morning, but she is just like
4 minutes.
she's down. She is down. She is tired. She's waking up very slowly, and she basically gives Rosie like her, you know, her blessing to like, go, you know, check in with your
She
team,
like
your party, or whatever.
her arms or something. She's like, go on. Yeah,
She's like, don't worry about it. I'll get myself up. Don't wait on me, you know, kind of thing.
She'll stroke the nearest part of Umber's tail, I guess, and I think maybe lean in for a peck on the. I was about to say forehead, but maybe one of her snakes or snake hairs or something. I don't know. She'll give her like a
one of the hairs raises up to like give Rosie like a little like snoop boop, you know, like on the mouth. But then otherwise, just immediately she goes like. Umber is real honk shoe, not a morning person.
Why I don't know why, but when you said the fucking snake, like hair, like Snoop Booper, I just the image of that meme of the guy putting the kitten in his mouth fucking came into my head for some reason.
Huh?
The guy pretending to eat his kitten.
Or a burger. Like it's a burger. Like it's a.
Yeah, he goes and then he puts the cat in his mouth. that fucking meme.
Wait, where's the GIF? Where's the GIF?
I need to see it. I need to see this now.
Hold on.
Like,
I can probably find it.
Cat burger.
Cat burger. Wait, does he have like burger buns on the cat, or?
Yes.
No. The cat's like.
I think I've seen one like with the
asleep or something.
I think I've seen like one like where they put like the kitten between like two slices of bread and like pick it up like a sandwich, but like they don't. I don't think they actually like put it to, like towards their mouth or anything.
Hold on, I'm gonna look for it.
All right. Either way, Rosie will crawl out of the platform, little mattress thing that.
It is a large flat platform that is then covered with a just plethora of like pillows, several very large mats that basically are the mattress. You know, silk sheets, all that sort of stuff. You have Umber's, you know, various tables, dressers, cubbies, cabinets, all of the things that like hold her various like equipment, personal items, you know, such and such. There's her, you know, like big ass jewelry box over on the side that's also got the little well, not little, but like the piece where like she hangs her crown up at. You know, you've got all of that, and then you've got like 3 doors that lead out of the
question. I know you mentioned this, I don't know if it was specifically in this room, but is that like Rosie shaped mannequin with the dress still here, or is that in a different room?
Well, it's not in this room specifically, but it's behind one of those 3 doors.
Behind one of the what?
It's behind one of the 3 doors that lead out of the.
I don't know why I keep cutting out. Okay, so it's
there are
nearby.
3 doors that lead. Yes, it's nearby. There are 3 doors that lead out of the room. Rosie's pretty certain she knows which door is the one that goes back to like the hallway to then out of the building. But the other 2 doors, Rosie knows that behind one of those is like Umber's workshop or like hobby room or whatever the hell you want to call it. That does have a like yet another like Rosie statue in there that she last time you saw it, she was using it to like start making clothing and whatnot and put on the statue. So you know that it's there. It's just not currently in this room. You can't see through the door. But that door is right there.
Yeah, sorry to ramble on.
Check.
So, but yeah, so Rosie will stand up, probably with some wobbly legs, but she will essentially.
I am gonna need
Oh
to make a
gosh.
fortitude save.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
All right.
It's a low
fortitude
DC.
save.
It's a low DC. Give me a fortitude save.
And if what happens if she fails? She just goes back to sleep. Is that what happens?
Well, if she fails, she doesn't get out of bed.
If she fails, she's crawling back to us.
Okay, hold on. Where
Oh no.
This fortitude. Oh, that's why I
Literally,
was
I'm
looking.
literally
I was
on it.
looking in the skills. It's on the left side. There we go. Okay, fortitude save.
Yep.
I have
And remember, if you're popped out, it might have the.
Yeah, I was having that issue with the pop in, pop out thing. Right.
Yeah, you don't get out of bed.
Oh no.
Oh no.
like you get to where you're standing. Your hips. Your hips are giving you a little like warning of like this might not be great, and then like you go to get up and to stand up, and you wobble and fall right back on your ass and like slap up against the side of the giant snake lady, which gets like a little rumble out of her, but she does not move.
Oh, that's hilariously accurate.
You
That's
feel a little sore. You feel a little sore. You feel a little full. Not great. But like you drank too much last night, or you ate too much last night. Maybe both.
She certainly got stuffed.
So
even if she has to
Rosie
crawl,
ain't getting out of bed immediately.
even if she has to crawl, she's going to make her way towards that fucking room to look for one of the outfits that Umber made her.
Okay. Then Rosie proceeds to start crawling. While Rosie is crawling on her way to find some appropriate clothing to wear before she has to walk back, vaguely through public to get to the rest of the party.
You got to relearn how to walk, bro.
Everybody else starts coming, back into the main room. Everybody starts coming back into the main room. Jamal. Jamal, when you're coming out of your room and you're coming back in to where everybody else is, you do notice Graph Gear, the flesh warp employee of the Pheno workshop. He is he's already up, and he's heading for the main door that leads out of the place. And he walks past Jamal, and he looks over and down slightly at Jamal, and gives him a thumbs up. He's like, hey, and then keeps going past and starts walking out the side door. It's like everybody else is all coming in, but he gives Jamal he's unsure, but he's giving Jamal a thumbs up as he's just passing by. But but yeah, so he's passing by. I do need Jamal to give me a perception check.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That graph gear was way too. What's the word for it? Not proud of himself, but more like full. I guess assured of himself. That graph gear was way too assured of himself. That's suspicious.
He's suspiciously confident.
He is suspiciously confident.
It's over on the left-hand side. It's on the left-hand side.
Let's roll.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, 22. Good. All right then. And we can remove the frightened condition from Jamal.
Oh yeah, because of the clone. Because of
now that you have had time to get your they had a reasonably good meal there at the feast. You have had time to sleep and rest and all that sort of stuff. So at the moment, Jamal's feeling pretty good, and his sniffer is going. And when the door opens, when Graph Gear walks out, he gets a good whiff of cooking fire, kitchen smells, that sort of thing. But Graph Gear pops out, closes the door, and cuts off the scent and everything. But you smell the rest of your party getting up and coming in and everything. As you can see the newest members of the group coming in. The only people who aren't popping out of their rooms here is you don't see Rusi and you don't see Torque, but otherwise everyone else is kind of getting up and coming into the main room, got their stuff and whatnot as they're beginning to do their daily. But yeah.
Now we having to explain to the rest of the party, guys. Guys, I know I'm covered in suction cup marks, but nothing happened, okay?
From her knees to her ankles, she's just covered in little suction cup prints. And Ariel is bobbing her way out behind Callie, and she's just wearing a big baggy
walking like Squidward.
Walking like Squidward, and she's
making the same sound too.
Yeah, and she's just real sleepy and whatnot, and she's just yawning, and she past everybody as she's heading for the bath. But yeah, so Jamal.
I find it more funny that I'm pretty sure Jamal just came out the room, probably he got his pants on, but he don't have his shirt on yet, and just waking up, just got done using the restroom.
Yeah. You
watch his face. But the funniest thing I would imagine about Jamal specifically is that he don't even he's so institutionalized from his time from being military, that he mandatorily just sleep on anything makeshift of a hammock. He don't even sleep on a bed normally. He just grab the cover and just make a hammock out of anything.
Like a true dog, he'll sleep wherever the fuck he wants.
He literally would probably just find a sheet of the bed, probably find one of the posts of the bed, and grab the sheet, tie a knot on that, and probably tie a knot on the door, and then bam, he have a makeshift hammock and just call it there and just sleep on that. Cause he always want to be ready. Be just boom, just flop over and just get That's how I imagine how he always. That's how I probably imagine. He sleeps like he alert. He always just sleeps like he's always in
Back.
alert.
I mean, makes sense though. Makes.
But yeah, him smelling the food though would probably wake him up a little bit more.
Ooh, food. Callie's gonna make her mender her. She's gonna make the soup she usually makes, just so I can get the benefit of the bonuses.
That reminds me. That reminds me. I need to come over here to. Okay, I am. All right, so for the next couple of minutes here, I am going to be. Hello. I am going to add to the party's stash food items that like Boer can make. So if anybody wants to like grab something that Boer can concoct and therefore be able to consume it later and get the benefit from it, I will plop those in there. Let's see here. We're talking breakfast, so there's definitely going to be some.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let me. All right. Forgot it. It's over here. It's over here. Okay. So we're going to do some waffles. There are
Waffles.
waffles.
I love me waffles.
There's waffles. There's egg cream fizz.
I mean, that's
There
currently what
is-
fucking Rosie is at the moment, but
I mean, there is some. There is some journey
Damn.
bread, and
I mean,
if you are, and if you're, feeling for it, there is some auric bacon. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's what that is what Boer can just pop that shit out like nobody's fucking business. They can just make that as part of their daily crafting thing. But yes, they are also doing all of that. So like as everybody's gathering together and whatnot, after a couple of minutes, Grafgear does return, and Grafgear returns with additional food. Grafgear comes back with a big ass platter of food.
Nice.
It's mostly like a big ass like bowl of scrambled eggs, some like thick oatmeal like porridge kind of stuff, little bits of like fruit, some strips of meat, clearly stuff that was like left over from but like brings that all in and like sets that on the table for everybody. And after he sets that down, he looks over at Callie and he say, Grafgear, wake up a little early and Grafgear, take Grafgear, feel funny not see sky, so Grafgear step outside and see breakfast made. And Grafgear come back, and then everybody start getting up, so Grafgear go and pick up breakfast for everybody.
Okay.
You did good, Grafgear. Now I must question: did you get yourself some breakfast among all the food you brought us?
Grafgear had nibble of egg Grafkir would like nibble of more egg.
Then yeah, I allow you to get more food. And
Thank you. Grafkir very, very much appreciate that. And so Grafkir, but Grafkir is still like in servant mode, basically. And so like he, essentially passes around plates, silverware, and food for everybody as everyone's sort of like settling in. And as everyone is settling in, after a few moments, Rusi's door opens, and a very like half wet, half dry, like bedheaded Torque like stumbles out of Rusi's room, and it's just like, ugh. Oh,
do I want to?
Is here.
Do I want to know what happened?
What? Huh?
Yeah,
Torque seems genuinely confused. Like, wait, what are you talking about? Huh?
Look at you. You're half wet, and you got bedhead. Do I want to know what happened last night?
Oh, okay. So your brother was not feeling great after the party? He drank too much. And since he was kind of falling down drunk, I didn't want him to like, choke or anything during the night. So kind of, but then like I got really sleepy, and I've never slept in an Azurketi bed before. So I just kind of laid like on the floor, and at some point in the night I kind of got halfway into the tub full bed, and like I woke up a couple of minutes ago with my head like face down, like on his stomach, and half of my hair was like drenched in the water. So I'm gonna go get cleaned up. Save some breakfast for me.
Will
Your brother's fine, by the way.
I was just about to ask, is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's cool. And then like you see Torque lightly blushing as she like shuffles her way off to like the bathroom.
Guys, what did she mean by this?
And so like she runs off, and there's some noise from in Rusi's bedroom, and after a moment, like Rusi comes out, and he is still, like wet, like all the Azurketi. He is wet as he's like freshly out of the. But he's like starting to dry, and he's like, ugh. Yeah, I feel pretty good actually. I slept real deep.
Do you remember anything from last night?
I remember the party. I remember that you and Unk had like that like conversation with a guy, and then he ran off. I remember that part, and then I kind of remember walking back here. After that, real hazy. I must have been like pretty drunk because like I just woke up and I'm still wearing my pants from yesterday.
Yeah, you were kind of throwing up all over the floor, brother.
Ugh. Oh, I hope I didn't make too much of a mess.
Well, I mean, you threw up and then you kind of fell into it, so you might want to wash up.
Ugh. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I'll do that. Save me some breakfast. And so he, also like turns and like wanders off towards the bathroom area. So everybody is otherwise getting up and putting themselves together. The only other person, obviously, who's had basic functioning this morning is Rosie.
Callie, I mean, imagine Callie after like seeing all that is like, all right. I guess then just like walks back to the rest of the group and then just like kind of comes up behind Ariel and then kind of gives her like a hug a little.
Hey, I hope you slept okie dokie.
Better than I thought it would. Typically, when I'm, I know it's a bit personal, but I don't know. Typically, I get nightmares when dealing with shapeshifters that are, I guess, problematic, but I didn't get any last night, so that's good, I suppose.
Yes, I would agree that this is a good thing. Since you not have any nightmares, I not have any nightmares either. I sleep pretty good. I was a little concerned when you said you wanted to spend the evening with me because sometimes we flail about and I've had too much now when I've hit that bed shelf, so I was a little concerned I might like slap you in the face or something with my tentacle.
No, it was fine. I think the only thing that really woke me up was Dr. Tremors playing with Lurk or something like that. I don't remember. It was very late at night. They were having like zoomies or something, running around all over the place.
Oh, yeah, sometimes Lurk is like that. He can be surprisingly like the surface animal cat, like that, or maybe like goat.
I've never seen a goat act that way before, but maybe it's just because I never owned a goat.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you know that?
Well, there is goat farm here.
Oh.
Yeah, they have goat. They have goat that provide meat. They have goat that provide milk, and they have goat that provide fiber.
Interesting.
Hey, the little ones, the young goats, they are rambunctious. Is I think word. They are playful, and thankfully Lurk is Lurk. He quiet boy. He do not scream like goat do.
Well, I can't say the same about Dr. Tremors.
Yeah.
How he looks over at Dr. Tremors as he's like scampering at his bowl, just going. It's just like eating all the food. Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's
trying to devour that shit like it was the last thing he ever ate.
Yeah, he is chowing down on that. Like, it is a common thing that Callie will occasionally have like pick him up and like pat him down so he'll cough out, like kibble that he's swallowed whole. because he's just that quick of like a fiendish eater. But yeah, like he is munching away, like and Ariel does pat Kelly on the shoulder, and she says, "Well, I am just grateful that we had a good night last night. I enjoy fish. I enjoy watching the what's her which Torque name, the stripper. I enjoy watching her dance, and
Yeah.
your little trick where you vanish at the table, and like you and your uncle dad. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will need a bit of clarification at some point on why, like, you call the Kanrasu dad, but like your brother call him uncle.
Well, I mean, I think it's simple enough to explain now, I guess. Well, as you see, I guess we kind of already talked about it, but your research, kind of turned into like a program that like the Veiled Masters did, where they were finding shapeshifters creating shapeshifters to infiltrate Azurketi-based civilizations and towns. Problem was it wasn't like a perfect kind of science. They still needed like a vessel to leech blood off of. And so what happened was my brother was on ice for like 11 years, 11, 12 years, give or take. In like a sarcophagus that kept him frozen in like a hibernative state.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is quite terrible, yeah.
Yeah.
It's even more terrible when you take into account that they used his blood to turn one of their shapeshifters into him, and then they used that form to go and kill both my mom and dad. But it's a lot there. On the bright side, I got my brother back, and I killed the shapeshifter who did it. So there's that.
That is silver lining, I guess. But Kelly, every time I think to myself these past few months that maybe I could, put my distaste for the Veiled Masters behind me and like move on with my life. Then I find out some new fresh horror that they have wished on my people brothers, and I'm just like, God, I want to crush all of their like fucking eyeballs.
So yeah. Just to put it in,
but there are no Veiled Master eyeballs here to crush. So
no.
For the moment, let's just have some breakfast and figure out, I guess, what we're doing for the day. I knew about the fish. Amber had told me ahead of time, of course, about that happening, but she didn't say anything to me specifically about what we were doing afterwards. So I guess I'll just shit with you guys, and we play it by fin.
Yeah.
At which point, yeah. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, we'll play it by fin, is all I said.
All right. Well, Ariel goes back into her room to grab her stuff so she can join with everyone else in the main room doing daily preparations and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess I'll eat my soup if anybody else. I guess I'll force feed Brick some soup because I know Tim might want that crafting bonus too. Be like, hey, open up! And then it's just grinding noises like a
Just
blender or
stone grind
something.
noises. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, does as far as the party is concerned, we just need to handle Rosie actually getting back to and then we can move on to things. So
I feel like at some point somebody would have seen her crawling on the floor and been like, "Hey, yo, ma'am, do you need some like help?"
well, except for the fact that Umber doesn't keep any servants or anything in her personal area, so it's only Rosie, only Umber. So, and Umber is essentially dead of the world, as Rosie is like very wobbly making her way.
I would probably assume Seamus is probably just wandering around because I would say Seamus is a very early riser, so he's probably just wandering around and just hears just the moans and groans of June, and he's just like, it sounds like someone's not a morning person. Just kind of like, walks his way over there, see June just like slumped up under the side of the wall. Is like, hey buddy, need some help?
Well, Rosie's gonna cover herself up.
Rosie is like as Seamus is kind of like coming around the corner. Like Rosie has finally gotten to the door. She's opened inside. There is a statue of her. The A-posed statue of her in the room. And there are multiple sets of clothing that Umber has like put together, various outfits and whatnot that are fitted to Rosie. So as you're like finally getting to your feet, finally getting a little feeling a bit stable, around the corner comes Seamus. Like, hey, bud.
She'll kind of yelp at him like basically like don't come in, I'm decent, I'm not decent. Like kind of something along those lines. Like
Seamus kind of just like, it's like, where your clothes at? And then he's just like, all right. And he just kind of like just slowly turns around the corner, and you just hear like just him tapping his foot. Let me know when you're ready. As you see like his hand just kind of just like fall about around the corner.
His third hand is flipping a coin or something.
It's like rolling all around his knuckles.
But as far as clothing options are concerned, there's plenty of what can be considered like normal clothing. It is in the local style clothing, as opposed to what Rosie would have worn, say, back at home. But there is also plenty of other stuff, things that like Alma probably would have made for Rosie. That are definitely for very specific sort of situations. You could maybe call them armor, if you were adventurous enough. And then there is actually literally a suit of armor.
Oh wow!
That is sitting there. It is a exceptionally thin like chainmail is as its like base, and then on top of that there are like various like plates and whatnot that have been attached to it for additional protection, and they have very clearly been stylized to have a slight imprint on them that when the light hits it, like it looks like snake scales. But yeah, it's otherwise a like very thin set of like chainmail, which is legitimately armor, not like not the stuff that you could like maybe argue or it's legitimate armor. But there is that, and like I said, there's also plenty of just like normal clothing.
Yeah. She will
primarily most of it is in very strong reds and very like dark sapphire blue colors. That seems to be the overwhelming like color choice that Umber has gone with.
Yeah. Well, she will not wear the lingerie to breakfast. She will get one of the more one of the more like local attire things off of one of the mannequins and shakily dress herself, like getting some strength back in her legs as she fiddles with it, muttering under her breath about Seamus, like just barging in. But eventually she will dress and leave the room to see what everyone else is up to, I guess.
Alrighty. So, you step out, dressed, come around the corner, let Seamus know that you are, in fact, okay.
Yeah, I guess she'll come around the corner wearing the dress, just kind of a bit of a slight not bother, like is that the right word? Incredulous? No, I think incredulous is something else. Fuck. Just
Annoyed?
Slightly annoyed, yeah, slightly annoyed expression as she comes around the corner, and she'll just be like, yes, Seamus, it's probably not a smart idea to barge into someone's bedroom.
The door was unlocked.
I mean, true. Door was unlocked.
I mean, yeah, that's any good reason as any, honestly. I mean,
I'm glad to see
you
you're
also
all
gotta,
right.
you also gotta take into account, Seamus probably saw everybody else before Rosie, and might have been a bit.
Yeah, no, this is all just like in character. Don't worry. Like, it's just like she. But what were you saying?
Would imply that I broke down the door.
Well, I doubt that Umber necessarily needs a lock. It's her building after all, but... sorry, I just have, anyway, what was it you needed to discuss?
Oh, I met up with everybody else, and you weren't there, so I went to go find you. You doing all right though? You seem to be hurting. You need a hand?
Do you need 3 of them?
I can let you borrow my staff if you want to use it as a walking stick.
She will clear her throat and kind of like try to strain herself up and not shake like a leaf. And she will say, "No, I'm fine. Perfectly fine. Let's go to see everyone else. Are they eating breakfast or something else? Are they looking for me? What's..."
We're just all getting together. I guess we're gonna have one giant meal together. And it wouldn't be right without everybody. So I went to go find you.
She kind of softens up a little bit and says, "That sounds pretty nice, actually." And I kind of want to do this thing. Hold on, let me see if I can.
What was another
Seamus.
save?
Seamus, make a perception check.
Oh my!
Or perception. You want Seamus to do a perception check or me do a fortitude save?
Seamus, make a perception check.
It'll let me. It's not letting me do it. Oh, it's probably because of the pop out.
Yeah, for some reason the pop in, pop out messes it up.
Okay then. So, Seamus, Rosie is telling you that she's doing fine, and she definitely seems to be like, not like injured, not like hurt or anything like that, but like you can tell that Rosie's putting on a face, you know, very much the whole like where she's doing the like, yes, everything is cool when really it's not cool. Everything is fine. It's not fine, but it's not like, you know, in trouble or anything like that. She is noticeably wobbly as you begin walking with her back towards everyone else. But, you know, considering circumstances that, you know, that doesn't seem to be particularly, like, unusual. But she is clearly still, like, recovering from the feast last night. So, Yeah. So everybody,
Seamus using his stubborn old manness, he pretty much gets beside Rosie, throws her arm over his shoulder, holds onto her back, and starts helping her walk. He's like, "You don't need to lie to me. Look, you had a rough night. You're probably hungover or something. I'm not."
Yes, hung over.
Yes, I am hungover.
Yes.
Like she'll start to be, like, no, what are you doing? No, I'm fine, and then she says, and then he says hungover. She's like, yes, I am hungover. That is exactly what it is. Yes,
yes, I am hungover. Yes, I am hungover.
Just when we get to everyone else, let me just walk on my own, please, Seamus. And then she'll
If you insist. And,
Okay.
like,
She falls over. Then she gets in the room with everybody else.
Just plop.
Face first into the ground.
No, I'm good.
Hey guys, I'm good. How's everybody doing? Falls over.
Yeah.
It's like, Seamus purposely walks slowly just so he can keep pace with Rosie.
Alrighty.
Just being like, you know what? I know she's putting up a front, but I'm going to be as supportive as I can, whether she likes it or not.
Gonna be physically supportive. Alright, so,
Oh, damn, bro.
you guys,
I want to know what that's for.
you guys eventually get back to, the room. So everybody is finally back together. All of the party is together in the main room. Although, like, Rusi is still, like, getting himself cleaned up. Torque is still getting herself cleaned. But everyone else is otherwise in the main room. Like, Oda is already, like, by the time, like, Rosie and Seamus come in through the door, like, Oda's already, like, halfway through, like, polishing up her armor and all of her stuff. The various, other, like, NPCs have gone through most of their things. Breakfast has been passed around and set up. So, like, as Seamus and Rosie come in, everybody just, like, sort of, like, looks up at the door as you guys come in, and are just like,
Callie immediately is like, holy shit, did somebody fuck you with a jackhammer? What the fuck?
You see Seamus after hearing Callie's, like, expression, his eyes kind of bulge out. He's trying his best not to bust a gut.
Like, Jamal kind of spit out what he was eating a bit. Almost nearly choking on what he ate. Going.
Boer just, like, lets out, like, a absolute just nasty bark of laughter at that. Like, it's the most unrestrained, like, it is the most unrestrained, ungraceful noise you've ever heard the Nephilim. Just absolutely loses their shit at that comment.
Rosie's face goes as red as her outfit as she just, like, kind of, like, just, like, holds her tongue not to like snap back at Callie, just like because she can't say anything to that.
Oda, like, looks at Boer as they're, like, collapsed on the floor, and then, like, looks over at Rosie and gives her kind of, like, an awkward smile, and she's like, well, you're in one piece, so that's good. Seamus, why don't you help her, like, take a seat and let's just pass Rosie some breakfast. She's probably going to need it.
Seamus kind of uses like his telepathy just to pull a chair out for her. And he kind of just motions to it like, here's your chair.
I'm like, I just want to reiterate the frustration is all in character. I am loving this. This is hilarious.
It does take Brewer like a little bit of time to recover from that, but they eventually back up, and they like lean forward on like both hands to like look over to look down the table at Rosie, and Brewer is just like, so tell me, did the outfit help?
Rosie will kind of pick at her eggs and kind of glance at Boer, and she will give like a short nod.
Okay, remember our agreement. But then Boer like just sits back and like claps their hands together, like the little gremlin that they are. Yeah, they're just like they just clap their hands together, just like the little gremlin that they are, and elbows like Tommy in the like bicep, and then like leans real close and like starts whispering into his ear.
Perception check.
And you see like Tommy's like glance at Rosie, and then like immediately like focus on like his porridge, and he's like, tasty porridge.
Perception check. What is Boer telling them?
Well, let's see here.
Or do I have?
You know what? I'm gonna. What is Rosie's perception DC?
10 plus the thing. That'd be a 27.
Yep. 27. Okay. Boer is horrible at this. This is how horrible Boer is at this.
Oh my god!
Like I can imagine they're like not even like they're whispering, but they're not whispering.
Yeah, it's like stage whispering. They're like way too loud, as close as they are to like Tommy's face. But like, Boer is telling Tommy like very excitedly that like they made a deal with Rosie that if the outfit helped with advanced diplomacy with Umber, that Rosie would Rosie would cough up details, and also help with that like issue, which is specifically what they say. They will help with that issue. At which point, like, Tommy is just like, these are delicious porridge. This is delicious porridge. As he is just trying to keep his eyes like focused and down. He's like, if I don't make a reaction, no one can make a check against me.
Too late.
I guess.
What was that, Jay?
Fair enough.
But yeah, as like all of this is going on, there comes the sound of Rusi and like Torque, both of them now like dry, freshly washed, and whatnot, coming out of the bathroom to like join with everyone else, sit down, and finally, everyone is actually together.
Everyone's here.
Torque does come over to sit next to Rosie, and just check in with her. Like, how you doing? How are you feeling? That sort of thing. Like, Torque is her usual like refreshed self, Rusi still looks a little like blurry, but he's picking himself up. But yeah. So Torque gets just a quick rundown from Rosie that she is fine, air quotes, and whatnot. And then as
whatever you're saying, Fuzzy, we can't hear you.
Oh, I can.
What? No, I can.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh,
weird.
I think it's on my end. Holy
Oof.
shit.
Damn.
Ooh.
Bit
Maybe
boop.
try
All right.
disconnecting and reconnecting. But yes, Rosie will say that she is in one piece and that everyone's having a good old yuck at her expense, but she is otherwise doing okay.
Okay, well that's... Torque is very glad to hear that. Torque is very glad to hear that doing all right. She does tell Rosie, like, as she had mentioned previously, she was a bit concerned with, how things might go, but she had faith, though, that Umber didn't mean any sort of like harm or anything like that. She was just, a little concerned, because giant snake lady and all that. But the fact that you're like here and like you're walking mostly under your own power is, thumbs up good. So with all of that said, and all of this done, as the party does actually do their daily preparations and gets themselves set up and ready to go. If you're not at full hit points for some strange reason, make sure you're at full hit points. Because we're going to be hitting we're going to be hitting the like actual like beginning of the meat and potatoes of this arc here. But everyone sort of just checks in with each other, how everyone is feeling, what's the vibe with everyone, and as well as just like doing all like sort of prep and everything that happens at the beginning of the day. So if for some strange reason you're not at full hero points, make sure you're at full hero points. If you're not at full hit points, make sure you are at full hit points. And the party essentially gets another hour unto themselves to just simply, touch base with everyone, and to not be particularly like pressed for time. So I'm going to go ahead and move us to 8 a.m., which is when a Halflus comes by the place to let you guys know that Umber is up and mobile and has requested that you guys meet her over at the Ziggurat of War across the courtyard. That she wants to talk business with the party. So, once everyone is otherwise ready and you guys head over to the Ziggurat of War, the Ziggurat of War, to point out differences here, is it is like 4 times as big as like Umber's Ziggurat. It is a massive, complex building. It has like 7 tiers as far as like how many steps of like pyramid there are involved here. It is the tallest building in the entire city. And it is like a multi-story building on the inside where it has multiple floors which are distinct from each other, which has multiple rooms. This is essentially the building actually that most of the running of Akkad and the Dominance happens in. This is basically the administrative building. And on the top floor is where there is Umber's like quite literal war room, which is where you guys have been summoned to. And when you get up there, you have in attendance Umber, as well as a handful of like flesh warp servants, essentially, who are just there to like, run in. They're gophers. Whenever Umber needs something, they're the ones who go off and fetch it, that kind of thing. But in addition to them and Umber, there is also a Kevi, the other Lamia, and there are specifically 3 other flesh warps who were at the party last night, who are responsible for most of the utilities and city planning and whatnot. Like, these are the heads of the various departments. But once you guys arrive, she directs everybody to like sit down, and she brings up a big, like, fat manila folder full of like parchment, full of like, she's basically got a book worth of like loose papers. And she slaps that down on the table in front of you guys. And she's like, all right. So, first and foremost, good morning, everyone. I want to immediately jump into business here before we get distracted by any other things that might be going on. One of the main reasons that I asked for you to come here, other than delivering that mural to me from the Dwarven Ruins, which again, thank you for that, and also delivering Rosie to me, again, thank you for that. But other than those 2 things, the main thing that I wanted to have you do is provide your input, as well as your sword arms, your spell arms, whatever you have you. Seamus has 3 of them.
You're damn right.
You're damn right. But she's like, one thing that I am trying to do here is I am trying to develop a legitimacy with the other nation states. Clearly, the gnomes, they want me dead. They want this land back. They think that it's theirs. It isn't. It belongs to me. But to back up that claim, I need other countries to treat me and my dominant like a nation. Something that they can interact with on the world stage, such as it is. So I don't give a shit about Gads and their interactions with me. I've already got talks going on with the trading company, so that's sort of already taken care of. I've got reasonable connections with the Kingdom of Bak. I don't think there's really anything that you lot could do there positively for that. But there's one very major player on sort of connection with, not positively, not negatively, but if I had a positive connection with them, it would be extremely beneficial for me. And of course, it's the one most of you hail from, the Empire. So, to get on the Empire's good side, I figured it would be a benefit to everyone involved if I made the Empress look really good to everyone else. If I hand the Empire a public relations win, then they'll look good, Eudor will know where it came from, and I'll get a little bit of kickback on the legitimacy standpoint. Maybe even set up some trade deals, that kind of stuff where it gets boring. But this first part, that is going to be something that only you people who are Imperial and have, Imperial experience can most effectively deliver for me. And that's what this is. And she taps the manila folder. She's like, this is a dossier that I have put together that has a bunch of information into it that has to deal with the Empire's last major, big, positive thing that they did that everyone was a fan of. And of course, and she gestures at Callie and Rusi and Ariel. She says, and of course, I mean the team up, the freeing of the Azaketi from the Veiled Masters under the sea. Pretty much everybody's, a fan of that piece of history. And the Empire makes a lot of hay out of it. They go on and on about how it was a great thing that they did and all this sort of shit. And I'm not arguing with him. I think it was pretty great. But it's been 200 years since that's happened. And, as I believe you're all very aware, not all of the Veiled Masters are in fact gone. Some of them still remain. So, I have gathered information, as best as I was able to put together, on where those Veiled Masters are most likely hiding. And it's my intention to give this information to Empress Eudor so that she can focus the war machine of the Empire on actually putting these things down and out. It'll be easy for her and her navy. This isn't going to be an uphill battle like it was 200 years ago. She'll be able to steamroll those fish into oblivion. She just needs to know where the fuck they're hiding at. And that's why I put all of this together. But I also want to make sure that this is beneficial to you. And so I have a copy of the dossier. And she pulls out a second manila folder and puts that one down. This contains additional information which you will find specifically useful. I leave it to you exactly to handle it, but this is extra information. Eudor doesn't need to know about it. You can handle it yourselves. And I think that you will find, and again, she like at Callie specifically, she says, and I believe you will find this information to be very positive towards achieving some personal goals.
Yeah. It would be something I've wanted to do for 11 years.
Now, there are some things here to think about. Some things to make sure that you are doing the greatest that you can towards those goals. I heard it from a little birdie that you were working on a transport system to take you and the rest of your party to the bottoms of the ocean. Since obviously not all of you have the ability to breathe water, or not breathe at all, getting down there is most of the problem. So, I would like to officially, Miss Vito, offer my assistance in making sure that this device or vehicle or whatever it is you want to call it is in working order. So I'd like to help there. And then once it is in working order, I would also like to assist you with the knowledge that you'll need to get there. Further, I've got a few choice items in my armory that might be useful to some of you for dealing with this particular issue. I've also got some information here. It has to deal with what the hell was the name of that group? She grabs the dossier, flips a couple of pages.
The Bleak Reef? Question mark?
No, not them. It was the other one. Yes, here it is. Vivim Machina.
Oh,
Those guys.
Viva.
Yeah. I've pulled together a bit of information for them. They were difficult to track down, by the way. Someone has specifically gone out of their information, which is interesting, but it has to do with shit that I don't care about, so, whatever.
Those hags were involved
However,
in some way, I believe.
Yes. I was able to track down several copies of multiple invoices for various orders and supplies and things like that. I don't know what half of this shit is even supposed to be. But I assume that you will know better. But again, I've included, where I can, some addresses, some names, people that you can track down. Most of these places, most of these names, they are going to be located in the mainland of the Empire, which is across the fucking world from here. So, you could take your little flying ship. It's very interesting, honestly. I'd love to see what the view is like from on writing on it, but we can do that later. However, as useful as it is, getting you around the world to, a whole other continent is going to be a long trip. But there's a way that we could speed this up. If you remember back to when you first one of the things that I was currently doing was expanding my network of portals. And, well, if we continue that work with some of the information, we could get a portal open to the main larger portal network, one of which there is a portal exit located right there in the capital of the Empire itself. So step one, I believe, is going to be connecting my portal network to the main portal network. And that's going to mean moving some things around physically, things which are already in remote locations. One of the things that will need to be done, I think, will need to be traveling through my portal network back to that hidden location, that cell location just outside of the what was it called? Outside of Vault Chamomile, yeah, there we go. I gave the temple area back to the elves, but my hidden section is still hidden and sealed off, which includes the portal gate. It will need to be deconstructed and then physically moved from there to the next location. Obviously, it'll have to be transported by hand. But once it's set up in the new location, we can reopen the portal and then go through the portal to smooth the rest, all of this out. So, I think that you will need to go through the portal, dismantle the one there, go by foot through the Mushroom Road back up to your settlement, and reestablish the portal there. Then once there's a direct link between my city and yours, we can then move on to the next location, like I was doing before I got rudely interrupted by you guys all of those months ago. Does this make sense?
No, that makes sense. Starting a portal network seems like it makes sense, yeah.
Good. Okay, so I don't want to get too deep into the weeds too quickly. I just want to make sure that our first step is setting up the connection. Once we have the connection, we can then use the larger portal network straight to the capital. That will vastly cut down on the travel time necessary for all of this. And then once you're in the capital, well... And then she looks at Rosie and she's like, your connections as a Valencia will let you get right up to Eudor. And then you can plop this right in her lap and hand her a win for the Empire. You just let her know where it came from. Then we let Eudor go off and, do what the Empire likes doing best, which is being loud and blowing shit up. Off in the ocean, where the fucking fish are hiding at. And while she's busy doing that, you will have the additional information about the... Fuck, I forgot its name already. The Viva Machina, that thing. And the Bleak Reef.
Document starts scrolling back through it.
Yeah, she goes back a couple pages like, oh yeah, Viva Machina. And the Bleak Reef. So that you can deal with that while she's not looking your way.
Rosie will look a bit not tense or what's the word, like she will look deep in thought. That's sort of like she will just kind of like tap a finger on the table in thought and just will bring up, there is one thing though. As far as the Empire is concerned, at least as far as I'm aware, they think I'm dead. How will we deal with that if they need some proof or other kind of identification?
Well, I mean, you would be the first person who lied about being showed back, so they may already have a protocol for that. There are various magics which, frankly, I assume you'd ought to have access to, if not personally, then through some court magician or whatever, that can verify who.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that there won't be possible hiccups here, but I think we can get through that pretty easily. There would, of course, be an issue were I to show up personally. I'm a fucking monster. They will react like that. The other thing the Empire is, sort of famous for is killing large reptiles. Of which I am, both of those things. So, Eudor doesn't need to know specifically that I'm a Lamia or anything like that. She just needs to know who I am, and that the reason I am giving her this information is because I want to deal with the Empire in a legitimate manner. I wish to be a trade partner. I wish to be part of the conversation, such as it were. If the Empire treats the dominance as a legitimate nation-state itself, then the rest of the world will kind of have to follow suit. The trade company and the Kingdom of Bach, they're pretty much already set up for it, but neither of them will commit. If the Empire does it, though, they won't have any choice. And then once all three of them have committed, not even Gads will be able to deny it. It will afford my land and my people with a security that currently we are lacking. And as Umber, is like pointing that stuff out, Akevi kind of leans over towards her and like whispers something up at her, and she looks over at Akevi, and then she just kind of like gestures for Akevi to like address the party. And Akevi looks at the group, and you see Akevi like force like it's very clearly a forced like smile. And Akevi says, and before that, I think we're also going to have to deal with the remaining snake folk that are here in town. This is a big deal. The whole plan that Umber has for gaining legitimacy. And I agree with her that it's an important thing to do, but we've got some concerns here in town too. And I was kind of hoping that you could help that. The snake folk are extremely good at disguising themselves and impersonating others. It usually requires, insulting their god to like get them to break character. So it's really difficult to sniff them out, especially since they basically just change every single day. I've been trying to track them. I've narrowed their base of operation down to a neighborhood, but I'm not really sure exactly where it is. And I haven't seen evidence of it yet, but I've got a very sneaking suspicion that I think one of the other Lamia is them. And I don't know who. If I had to bet, I think it's Yane. And Kevi looks at Umber, who kind of like rolls her eyes, and Kevi looks back at the party and he says, I know that you guys don't know who Yane is, but like, she's one of the natural born Lamia, and she was like really horrible, and she was also really into like the gassing up that the snake folk were giving her. So if she's working with them, they've clearly like promised her something. And the fact that she's managed to lay is disturbing. So I don't know what's going on. I know that those snake folk guys, they're not just good at disguising themselves, they're also like pretty capable like spellcasters too. So they're not your regular run-of-the-mill sneaky poisonous stabby guys. I mean, they are that, but they're that plus also competent spell slingers. Yeah. And then they've probably got a juiced up Lamia.
A roided up Lamia.
I was just basically a funny idea. Well, it's not a funny idea. It's more like a cute idea. It's like they mentioned the fucking dealing with the snake foot. Callie just like, I don't know, under the table reaches for fucking Ariel's hand or whatever and squeezes it really hard.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go. You can keep talking.
Ariel does like squeeze Callie's hands back, but But Kevi continues on to let you guys know that as far as they are aware, like Yanae, when the Snakefolk got booted out, Yanae was one of the first ones to like cry foul, and was very vocally like pissed off and angry with Umber for doing that, because Yanae was just sort of like a she was a slut for worship and for being worshipped, and so like Yanae's got a god complex.
Messiah
kind of
complex.
She already thinks that she's a goddess, and like the Snakefolk are 100% going to be gassing her. So like she's going to be dangerous. But yeah, so they're otherwise hiding amongst the like regular population. And they pull out a map of Akkad so that Kevi can point out where he thinks it, and he thinks that they are located over here in this. Clicking on the map here, in this section of the town. So like this neighborhood, which like starts up here and goes like down to this street down here. So this little section, which is part of town, which is called the Pope's Scales, that's where they think that the base is located at, is somewhere. They're not sure where, but they're pretty sure that they've just posted up and have like inserted themselves into the general populace, and they're just rotating out who they look like on every given day, which is making it extremely to really track them down. But pretty sure that's where they're located. And Kevi, like, after pointing all this out, Umber then gives the floor to one of her flesh warped city planner people, and they let you guys know that there's just a couple of other issues that they've been dealing with. They mention that they've been receiving some strange rats, which Ariel squeezes like Callie's hand and like points, and she's like, she reports strange legs. And they say how they've been getting reports of rats who have been behaving in an unrat-like manner. Nothing dangerous, just weird. And weird is not necessarily bad, but like, it's very rarely good either. It's definitely off.
Rarely is rats not acting like rats a good thing, I should say.
Not I guess probably not surprisingly. Most of these do center in the city of area.
Have you ever just thought about burning down the city of rats, rebuilding it?
You know how many people live in the city? They can't just burn it down. They can't just burn it down to get a couple of weird rats. And it is brought up that, like, Ariel was tasked with seeing if she could track them down, and Ariel lets everyone know, like she told Callie the other evening, that she never actually found strange rats. She found plenty of regular rats who seemed to be acting like regular rats. And she talked to those regular rats, and those regular rats did say that there were some weirdos in the rat population, but they're like weirdos from a rat perspective, not weirdos from a person perspective. From a person perspective, they're just rats. the other thing that Ariel mentions is that she did find in some of the basements in the city of Rat, she did find some statues that Callie, in fact, pointed out might be like some form of gargoyle. That were like rat people, like rat folk statues. Rat folk are not native to this region. They have been here before. Like there's some trade and whatnot, so they have been here, but they're not native to this region by any standard whatsoever. And some of those rat statues do definitely appear to be like, at some point they may have been like guardian statues. Some of them are wearing what definitely looks like ceremonial. Some of it is ceremonial armor. But it's like literally a handful of them. She's found like 6 or 7 of these basements covered in junk and other stuff, and they've been there for quite some time. And it doesn't look like they've done anything, but she found them. She found them when wandering around as a rat in the City of Rat area, and thought it was weird. And she brought that to Callie's attention the other night. So she just adds that in as like context. She hasn't found any actual weird rats, but the reports of weird rats keep happening. And they are all over the city, but in the City of Rat area. So something appears to be going on, but whether it's nefarious or not, no one is certain. Ariel also takes the moment that she's got everyone's attention to also reiterate the fact that while she was poking around as in animal form, she did go out, or she heard from people in the city that there was some odd animal behavior that was happening in the greater like forest just outside of the area that they do most of their food cultivation. So she did check out there as well, and she came across some animals that were admittedly acting a little unusual, mainly just in the like when at like what time of day that they were active and like where they were. Kind of weird, not like for some strange reason the animals are. But she does describe that those animals were over there, and some of those animals. She also says that she came across unusually large. They were just really big animals.
Abnormal.
That were over there. So kind of abnormal. She says that she while she was out there, that she was being watched, but she never could figure out where it was coming from or what it was. It didn't exactly feel, like she was being watched like by a predator. But like she felt something. So she points that out. And let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. Okay, yeah. And the other thing to point out is that like as everyone's just sort of like sitting there being like consider ourselves with, Ariel is like, oh yeah, and they wish that thing with the fire lamp.
Oh yeah, that thing. You got a lot of weird things. I'm just gonna be honest here, man. You got a lot of weird things going on in your town, man. Like this is abnormally a lot of things. There's 6 or 7 different things going on.
Well, this is a population of, former gnome slaves that have had various experimentation done on them.
Bless you.
Ooh, pardon me.
And some of them have unstable magical abilities, that sort of thing. There's, of course, the Kitsune, who have mostly integrated themselves pretty well, do have, admittedly, a bit of what's a polite way of saying it? They take their whole, descended from a trickster god thing a little bit too literally.
Yeah.
They like to prank, is what I'm trying to say here. They're usually not malicious about it, but, it can sometimes come off as a bit creepy to other people. I know about the fire thing. I've seen a little weird, but hasn't harmed anyone, so I have an intention. The strange rat thing, I am a little concerned about. Akkad, when I moved in, was a temple that was dedicated to Lao Shupo. It says it's a minor deity. You may not have ever heard of it, but their name in common means old rat woman or something like a rat god.
Rat.
Yeah, like a rat god. Umber just shrugs. She's like, fuck if I know. It's an even worse version than most other regular deities. It's the most shitty version of deity you've ever fucking heard of. And anyways, when they were here, way back when, it was only a few worshippers, I guess. It's hard to even tell. They don't exactly have they don't even have a very fucking well organized. And I slaughtered them wholesale, and nobody cared. Nobody came to ever do anything about it. I took over the place, moved all of their shit out, burnt it, and then renamed everything. But either way, that doesn't get rid of Lo Shupo. That's just simply, throwing her shit out and burning it. So she could come back, is what I'm saying. That's why I've decided to put some importance on these reports of strange rat behavior. But again, no one has been harmed. Nothing, no infrastructure's been damaged. There's nothing else going on there. So for all I know, is it some remnant of some sort of magical rat-based enchantment. But that said, it's still going on, and it'll be dealt with eventually. So if something should come up while you're here, and you deal with it, great. I'm grateful. But
I have to ask, do you care if we I don't know, kill the rest of the lizard folk and then the remaining Lamia? Do you care about whether or not they're alive?
I have absolutely no love for them. You can get rid of them. I do not care. I'm not going to be upset about that. I don't think anyone in this room, anyone in this building, or anyone in this fucking town, except for them, is going to care. Everyone has been very glad about getting rid of them. I should have done it a very long time ago.
Alright, just making sure.
So, essentially, the party is presented with 4 side quests. Yeah, there are
Jesus.
4 side quests, and then there's the main quest here. The main quest is the setting up the portal network to get you over to the Empire area, meeting with the Empress, and handing her the dossier that Umbra has put together that will hopefully be translated into like a PR win for the Empire. They kind of need that, right? By the way, right now they're not like, the world at the moment is not exactly happy with it.
As many people wouldn't be, I imagine.
Yeah, so but everybody did like them getting rid of the psychic fish, much like the serpent folk. They were seen as a universal bad. So giving the Empire information on where some of those psychic fish have managed to hide themselves so that they can be gotten rid of permanently would be a positive thing. But that's the main quest, and clearly it takes you out of this area. As the very first thing that you're going to need to do is go back to that hidden temple space underground, take apart a portal gate, physically walk that portal gate. You're going to have to break the obsidian, and then take it back up to base, rebuild the 6x6 frame, and then relight it again. But
We're going to the Nether, everybody.
but yeah, so that's there's that aspect of it. Then you've got weird rat behavior. You've got the weird fire behavior. You've got the hidden snake folk, and then you've got also weird animal behavior.
I, for one, think maybe we should get rid of those fucking wizard folk. I think maybe that's high priority considering they're shapeshifters and they're just here. I feel like that would be the biggest, problem if they were to do anything to our plans, our main plan anyway.
That seems to be a good call. The NPCs are like, yeah, that seems like probably an important thing to get rid of, like shapeshifters. Like the shapeshifters that we know are unfriendly to everyone.
Yeah, seem like the biggest threat. And then, I mean, we could try to do the other side quests after, but I feel like that one's just probably top priority considering.
Okay.
What do y'all think? Any of y'all on board?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Let's take a show of hands from our PCs. Do y'all want to go after the serpent folk and their like hidden land, and deal with that? Is that the thing that you guys want to deal with?
That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
All right.
It's been a minute since we had combat.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute. Now, the next question, though, is that because there are multiple things, and you do actually have quite a lot of members, you've got quite a lot of available like NPCs. This means that you guys can officially have a B team, and have B team go after one of the other goals, and do that while you guys focus on
I think
the serpent folk.
I think B team should go focus after the rats.
Okay, B team focus on the rats. All right. So then the weird rats. So if we're gonna have B team looking on the weird rat, we're gonna have A team handle the serpent. Then I just need to know which NPCs are going to go with the party. You'll have obviously quite a large selection of NPCs that can go with you. Now, obviously, Ariel is like the new character, the new NPC, and she has gone looking for the weird rats, so she has knowledge on that. So you might want to have her assigned to that.
Damn,
But she's
bro.
also but she's also a shapeshifter, and therefore could probably be a shapeshifters.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is which I guess two NPCs. I want to limit it to just two. Which two NPCs do you guys want to come with the party?
So, Jay, I think we can hear something in the background there.
Jay,
Yeah.
get some noise going on in the background.
I mean, Ariel would probably also just be nice to have on our team because she probably knows the town better anyway.
Yeah, she does have the benefit of
Been
knowing
here, like,
Mm-hmm.
She's been here for like months, so.
Yeah, she does have that benefit. So yeah, that is a benefit to have her. And if we're going to include Ariel, then the next question, of course, is who is the other NPC that we want to come along?
You know, I actually, this is just the, sorry, stuff in the background. Just got, is a Kevi available to be an NPC?
A Kevi can come along, so that you are aware. Kevi is a Lamia. They are otherwise they are a like a trained fighter. Kevi has some magical abilities, which Lamia. But yeah, a Kevi can come along. So if y'all wanted to do that, the only problem, quote unquote, is that a Kevi does get
yeah, I was about to say
does get frustrated very easily whenever Umber's not around. So that could theoretically cause a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but otherwise, if you wanted to bring a Kevi, you could.
I'm just my logic here is that in theory, possibly a Kevi.
In theory.
Okay, in theory, no. In theory, having a Kevi could have some leverage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
they might...
So, I see what you mean. They're like, a Kevi's maybe thinking, like, we play up the whole, like, a Kevi's thinking of betraying Umber too kind of thing, right?
Well, no, like, this... Not like
not
like a substitute.
Oh,
like
we were on completely different pages then.
I guess having a Kevi could, in like maybe a possible scenario, like have the Serpent Folk like get in line or like leverage that, like, you know, or unless we're just doing like straight up extermination, you know, we're just gonna kill them.
Well, first of all, they're not in line for Umber, so I don't know why a Kevi would make much of a difference. But
yeah, no, I can't. No, it was just a thought. I'd just maybe hey, you know, like the.
Again, we can convert the lizard folk.
I mean, you employ pretty much every enemy we fight. No,
that is true. That is true. But I don't know, man. Them lizard folk don't seem very trustworthy.
It's alright. It's alright. No, that was just the idea I wanted to throw on the table. Didn't stick. So all right. So what's another NPC we could, I guess, have tag along?
Having Torque's bonuses might be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Torque's bonuses are always beneficial.
Yeah. I would be fine with that.
Okay. All right. So we're thinking bringing Torque and Ariel.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Johnny, Zany,
Huh.
is Torque and Ariel good for you guys as far as like companion NPCs?
Oh yeah, Torch
Yes.
will be good, and I want to see what the new guy does in combat.
Okay.
All right.
Jay,
Yeah.
is that NPC? All right, cool. Okie dokie. So, then with that picked, it's 10:15, and my throat has decided I cannot voice Umber in tonight. So that being the case, what we will do is next session we will have you guys go over to Aphope's scales area, the area Akevi pointed out to you guys, and we'll start a search to find exactly where those guys are at, where they can then be subjected to Mordor. But okay, so cool. Then I will make sure Ariel's spells taken care of. I finally fucking where I couldn't find that shit beforehand. Because to be even more confusing. Even more fucking confusing. The Animist is one half a prepared caster, one half a spontaneous caster, one half is innate, or then there's another third half that's innate spell casting that is occult, and then the spontaneous casting is a combination of divine and arcane.
Oof. That sounds like a lot to keep track of.
So, ultimately it's not really that bad. It's just that all of her spells are broken up into so many different categories that it's difficult to track them down in the system of where the fuck they're at. Because the system likes to automatically filter by tradition. So, like when I click on her thing for like add a spontaneous spell to her repertoire, it's already set as divine spells, so it just brings up divine spells. So one of those that's an arcane spell, but she can cast it like a divine spell. I have to fiddle with the thing to be like, no, I need you to also give me arcane.
Oh, you need arcane? I got you, homie.
Yeah, for real. But now that I've figured out that, the last thing I gotta do is I gotta put down her like the animal forms that she can take for combat purposes, and then she's otherwise 100% ready to go. Torque obviously is already like cranked and ready, but I guess one other thing that I would want to ask for you guys is that it is in this particular day in game, it is still relatively early in the morning. Once it's decided that you guys want to go to folk and make sure that gets handled, while B team goes and look at the strange rats phenomenon, do you want to do that this same day, like in the afternoon? Do you want to wait till the late evening? How do you want to work this out? According to Akevi, Akevi says that as they've been able to maintain, most days the serpent folk are simply mingling in the public. He thinks that they are specifically probing for weaknesses and trying to identify and have access to stuff that they can like sabotage and whatnot. Like that's what he thinks that they're doing, is they're basically trying to make things go bad here in town so that the public essentially turns on Umber or like demands a return of the snake folk. You know, like, hey, you know, like things weren't fucking up when the snake folk were here, even though nobody liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, things were better when they were around. So that's what he thinks that they're doing during the day. So most of the time, it seems like during the day, they are not at base. They're just wandering around town, and he does not know how they communicate or anything like that. Like they may have magical, you know, ability to communicate across the city. So he doesn't know any of those particular details. But he's pretty sure that they do come back together at night to the base, or at least in the evening time. So does the party want to look for the base like while the while the guys aren't there, or do you want to go look for the base when you're pretty sure that they will be?
I guess like on the one hand, if we do it like when they're not all grouped up together, it might be like they won't have like a whole like metaphorical army to deal with, but then again, they could slip away, you know, versus, you know, having them.
That's what I was about to say.
Versus having them all there,
probably,
but having like a more, you know, horde to face. Don't worry, we got this. We're adventurers.
We got this.
Yeah, no, I'm not opposed to burning a whole fucking warehouse down full of snake folk that have been tricking and deceiving people. So...
Alright. All opposed?
Okay. So, alright, so, then I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm assuming then that means that the party is afternoon to locate this area, find the snake folk who are in it, and then, like, you know, teach them their place in the world. Okay. All right then. So that is where we will pick up then. Next session is we will pick up with the party moving into the location and doing the search. I will make some checks for B team to see how they find and or deal with strange rats if they find them. So
good luck.
Yeah,
high five.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys are like, good luck, and Oda's party is just like, all right, let's go.
Imagine if their adventure
some strange rats.
Imagine if their adventure somehow ends up being more like like threatening. Like they end up finding like a bunch of ratkin hiding under. They find like a bunch of they find like a Skaven town underneath the whole fucking village full of rat folk that have to fight their way through.
Just what was it, Vermintide? That's the game, right?
Yeah, they just have like Vermintide or a Plague's Tale go on while you guys are just like poking around in the back alleys looking for like which building's got like some snake people. I mean, that would be funny. That would be funny. But yeah, I'll make some checks to see how handle the strange rat, or strange rats. Period. Yeah, I'll make some checks for them for that. But otherwise, next session we're just going to be hunting around the snake base. And then dealing with the snakes at the snake base.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. So then, otherwise, everybody, like usual, thank you for showing up. Thank you for putting up with my stuff. I am glad that we had that talk at the beginning to just kind of like check in everybody and get a feel for things. As I said before, and I want to say it again, that if, you know, I will try to keep myself to the point where, you know, I can ask before we switch gears, you know, if you're done, if there's anything else that you want, that sort of thing. And also I want to, you know, make sure everyone is aware that, like, if you don't remember what is the other thing, but you're like, oh, there was something, but I don't remember what it was. then we can, come back around to it, make sure that things don't get lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, though, everybody have a good night. Everybody have a good rest of your evenings. I will talk to you later after I've had some very desperately needed water. Good night.
Please hydrate.
Bye.
Yeah.
Good
Night.
Yeah, it was.
This was a good one. Good night.
You know,
All right. And y'all also have a good night too. I'm gonna take a quick little break, and I'll be back for some more gaming tonight, just to make up for